What a wild day for Tesla, up about 5%, hitting highs of around 345.50 before we ended up rejecting. And today I did end up closing the cash secured puts that we opened in yesterday's video. We're up nearly 67% of the max premium. So it wasn't really worth it for me to just continue to tie up the capital in order to make maybe another $1,000. So I went through, I closed that out, and today we actually closed up $5,500 for the day. If you want to know our full reasoning as to why we opened that position and why we became bullish specifically yesterday, go back and watch the video that we put out about 22 hours ago. It explains the exact position, why we took it, etc. Now we saw price action bouncing very drastically on the 1 hour chart, and what we were expecting was price to continue to move its way up into this market bias area. This morning, I posted on X saying Tesla's next resistance level is $349. If we break that market bias in the short term, then that could be the bottom. We need the daily BX to also make a higher low. Now that I'm no longer in cash secured puts, I will either wait for another sell off, or once the daily BX gets confirmation, I'll go in with calls. After that, I posted that now the market bias has continued to sell off and shift, and we are now approaching that resistance level. For those of you who watch our analysis every night, you know that this market bias is one of the strongest trend-based indicators that there is in the market. And after we bounce after a strong sell-off, normally the highest that we will get before a sell-off is that market bias area. And that's why I was expecting a potential rejection here. Now, the other thing that we were looking for was for the BX to actually close with higher lows. If you've taken my courses, you understand this in detail, but if you haven't, one of the most important things that we look for is candle closure. I don't care at all what is happening throughout the day. I want to make sure that when this BX closes the end of the day with a higher low, then I will look to enter a position to the long side with call options. If it's just showing it, it doesn't matter. We need that to close. And the reason for that is I said today, about 2 hours before the market closed, that if the daily candle closes with a higher low on the BX, that I am going to go long. And of course, that didn't happen. Price rejected right off of the 1 hour, selling off to $336. And now if we go out to that daily chart, and now if we go back to the daily chart, you will notice that the BX trender is not showing higher lows anymore. And honestly, this is how they trap people. They see that a lot of buyers are looking to get into the market because they're expecting this to be the bottom. And what they're going to usually purposefully do is allow price to bounce drastically, and then from that point reject. And if this truly is the bottom, they will let price come back into this institutional buy zone, and then price will stop making lower lows and lower highs and instead bounce to make a higher low. If we were to see this type of price action tomorrow, that is a very good sign that the bottom is in. And today on that pullback could have been another good time to sell cash secured puts, but I just decided against it because I want to save capital if this thing confirms on the daily so that I can buy December 2026 calls. Now, what we want to see, as we said, is price bounce and make a higher low. We do not want to break this previous area of 324. And if that bounce happens, we need price to come back over this market bias, come down to test support, and then that should flip the BX trender. And that will be the sign to grab leap call options for me specifically. If that happens on the 1 hour, that should confirm the daily BX with a higher low. Price would most likely be around $348 to $350, so we wouldn't be timing this very bottom once again, but that would still give us at least a 12% move to the upside just to tap the daily market bias where we could reject. And now, most importantly, remember that if we zoom out, this weekly market bias is still sitting here as support. So this is a very, very good sign because the last 2 times this happened, price drastically broke out 44%, and the second time 101%. So I'm still feeling very, very good about Tesla. Best case scenario, tomorrow we bounce, make a higher low, and then if the daily closes with higher lows on the BX, I'll look to buy some December 2026 $350 calls most likely. But if I end up taking that trade, I will notify X first. So make sure you're following me over there. And if you want to set up both of these indicators completely for free, you guys can go ahead and check out all of our courses. The library is down in the description. They're completely free. I recommend the Elite Traders Playbook, which will show you my exact strategy and all of my entry and exit requirements. And if you do want to trade with us each and every single day live, get access to all my real-time trade alerts, all of our trading bots, as well as my private live streams, then join our Discord community. The link will be down in the description.